Just wanna make you feel good.
Hey everybody, Brandon Shaky here for week 4. Gonna go over my code really quick and then I'll show you what my app does. So this app, one thing that I really wanted to get set up was images in the list view. And I had to do a ton of Googling on how to figure it out because there was like a lot of stuff for older versions of Android that don't really work. Like I guess you used to be able to download images without having to do it asynchronously before Honeycomb. So I have a couple things here. I created a new stream class, which basically just, instead of me returning a bunch of strings, I return these classes now, or these objects. That allows me to assign an image as well as a string. So every time the JSON runs through, it creates a new current stream object and adds that to the array, and I pass in these three values, which are the streamer, how many viewers they have, and then their image. And then inside the Java class here, I just have my setters and my getters. So that's how that works. And then I have here for my layout, I basically just have a spinner and a list view, and then I created another layout. This is basically the layout of the what's going to be in each row. So I have a new linear layout, and then there's an image view, which is all the way to the left, and then there's a text view, which is like the title or the string that I return. And then I created another class called custom adapter. So this extends the array adapter, which is what we used originally to make the list view. And then here's my constructor. So I pass in an array list of strings, which would be the stream and the viewers concatenated. And then I have another array list of bitmaps, which are the images. So basically what this just creates an inflator, and then I inflate the list item XML, and then I create a new text view with the ID that I made, and then an image view with the ID. And then I set the text to the array list of the position, and the position is from when the list view creates its like rows, that's the position that it grabs. So the first time would be 0, then 1, 2, 3, so on and so on, and then I return that view, which gets put into the actual list view. So here's my application. I'll show you guys really quick. So when it loads, you can kind of see it puts all the images in for all the users, and then it has their name and how many viewers they have. And then if I click a different game, so say I pick StarCraft, it'll reload, and then it'll load all their images in again. So it's pretty cool. Took me a long time to figure out how to get the images to load. I had a lot of trouble with like the images will all show up in the bottom row, so I had to do kind of this replace. So I added basically a bunch of null nodes to the bitmap thing, because the refresh was happening before the images were done loading. So I basically load it with a bunch of null objects, and then I replace it with the image once it's done loading. So that kind of took me, I kept getting a lot of index out of bounds errors. For the questions, I walked through, my app came out pretty good. What would I have done differently? I don't really know. Probably the way that the images are put in, because it kind of goes, if you watch really closely, you can see it goes like one at a time. I wasn't sure where to put the notify data after they were all done, but it doesn't really bother me that much. I kind of like Java more, because I have more experience in it. Objective-C is definitely way easier and more intuitive, I think, the way that methods get called and things like that. And then list a few things that can use more clarification. Not much, really. The assignment wasn't too confusing, and it was pretty easy to do. I just had a couple of difficulties with doing it. But that was just stuff I had to Google, so it wasn't really a classroom issue. But yeah, guys, that's my week 4 project, and I will see you in the next class. Thanks a lot.